So is Le Pen too close to Moscow? You're goddamn right she is. This motherfucker's been running a terrorist regime for the last 23 years. He hasn't got elected once. Not one time has he got legitimately elected. Every single one of those goddamn elections have been fraudulent goddamn shams. Le Pen, she's against NATO, she's against the European Union, or no, she's for the European Union now, but she used to be against, so she's a flip-flopper. Who knows what her positions are? She's known as a far right-wing candidate, which I don't, how far right-wing? Is she a Nazi? You know, with all that Nazi talk, you would think that you wouldn't have these far right-wingers coming out. She wanted to ban wearing a scarf in public, which is banning a scarf. Can you hide something in a scarf? I don't understand that just because they look different. I mean, that's pretty fucking racist. That's some racist shit there. Yeah, be, strong on immigration. Be strong on defense and be strong on crime. But you don't have to be a racist, bigoted piece of shit. And you also don't have to be okay with Putin. Not only is she shook hands 2017. She's sitting there shaking hands with him. Big, best friends with goddamn Putin. Macron is saying, we need to defend Ukraine. We got to stand up for Ukraine. Ukraine has a right to defend themselves, and we have a right to defend Ukraine. I mean, motherfucking shit. You got a gang of thieves that's raping the shit out of your neighbor. The family is just being fucked with. They're just being fucked with by a gang of thieves, and you ain't going to do shit. That's your neighbor. That's your family. That's a good family. That's your neighbors. That's your... What the hell are you doing? That's a bad Christian. You're not a good fucking Christian. You're just letting a gang of thieves, a bunch of fucking criminal motherfuckers sit there and do that shit to your goddamn neighbors? So Macron is, on the correct side of this. Le Pen, she, loves goddamn Putin. Is she too close to Moscow? You're goddamn right she's too close to Moscow. Now, is this a, race between neoliberalism and the right wing? Yeah, it absolutely is. What kind of right wing is she? I don't know. I guess we'll, find out. Let's all find out what kind of right winger Le Pen is going to turn into. Now, one thing on her behalf, they're saying that she's, she doesn't admire Putin as much as she used to. She's not as big of a Putin apologist as she once was. She's okay with Crimea, which there is like some justification for Crimea. But what about Syria? What about Kazakhstan? What about Chechnya? What about Georgia? What about Georgia? What about South Ossetia and Abkhazia? Where's she at on Georgia, right? Is he just allowed to take any and all, goddamn land that he fucking wants to take? Anybody that's not going to militarily defend land, he's just going to steal? Her spokesperson said that they absolutely condemn the invasion of Ukraine, especially against civilians. But then they also said that they didn't want to give weapons to Ukraine because that would be a allies. That would be, allies with Ukraine. So they don't want to. And then they also talked about they didn't want to cut off Russian oil. They don't want to cut off Russian oil because of the cost of living, right? The cost of living. We need that Russian oil to, for cheap gas prices. We need some cheap We need some cheap gas prices. So they can't get off that Russian oil. They're addicted to Russian oil. Why can't they stand up against Russia with this Ukraine invasion? Because they're addicted to goddamn Russian oil. They're addicted to Russian oil. So, okay, what the fuck? They mentioned something about embargoes or some shit. Very weak response. Very, very weak response. Adolf, he took the Rhineland. He took the Sudetenlands. He took Austria. He took a whole nother fucking country. That was the big, that should have been like, wait a second. Wait, Mexico took Guatemala? Bolivia just took Venezuela? That's imperialism. No, that's some bullshit. That should have been the first, but then he took Femel, then he took Danzig. And Danzig is where they drew the line. There was a lot of Germans that lived in Danzig, but Poland threw a fit. Poland said, fuck this bullshit, and threw a fit about it. So if, Adolf fucking Putin pulls into your neighborhood and you don't fight back or say shit, well, he's going to just stay parked there for, I guess until Until he wants to go back home. I mean, that's one way. That's how the Russians defeated Napoleon. It's how the Scythians defeated Darius. Just turn into a nomadic tribe and just keep traveling around in bands. Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, you want to park over there? Okay, go ahead and park over there. You want to take that land? That land is yours until you don't want it no more. We have no buildings or lands to give. What? The Chechens, they beat the Russians because at least 5,000 diehards, were able to hold out. So yeah, how many goddamn fucking territories does Putin have to take? He's been in there for 23 fucking years. France has elections, right? They have a turnover. Goddamn, if Putin was, Trump, he would have just stayed in fucking power. Caused the goddamn civil war between the whole fucking nation. This shit sickens the fuck out of me. People say, oh, you can't fight back. It might be World War III. It's World War III already, motherfuckers.